Make our very own component. We old pros at this yet? You guys made so many components in your homework last night. We can just fly through it. So in our source directory, make a new file. I'm going to call it capital M main. I'm just going to call this whole thing main. So capital M main.js. It's a React component, so I know I need to import React and component from React. I need to make a class. I'm going to name it capital M main. It's going to extend component. Before I forget, I'm going to export default main because I will totally forget. I know I need one method, render, and it must return some JSX. So I'm going to return a div with a class of capital M main. That's just what I always do to start. I just make an outer div that has the name of the component as a class. Makes it a little easier to target with CSS, although we're not going to do our CSS that way anyway. But it also makes it easy if you're just looking at the generated HTML to tell which component generated that. But of course, our React Dev tools give us more insight than that anyway. So I'm just going to stick the word main in here just so that I know it's really on the page. So once I have a component, I'll go ahead and leave that open on the left here. Then I'll go into app.js and import it. So as I said before, I like to put a line break between imports from node modules and imports from files from our project. So I'll put it down here. Import main from ./main. I don't have to put .js. So this is just what I'm calling it inside this file. This is actually the name of the file it's coming from, minus the .js. To use it on the page, I'll get rid of my h1 chattering that was just there to prove to me that my app component was working. So inside app, I will just put a single main tag. Our components are basically custom tags. And if I didn't mess it up, I should just see the word main. Nothing too complicated. But I always check these things out early and often so that if I do mess something up at the very beginning of making the component, I find it before I add 20 more lines and have to look through a lot more code to find that I missed an angle bracket or something. So add main component.